Woo, okay, already we're out of connection. Let's try not to hit anything. Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, wow. Now, how are you guys doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. No. Okay, so great week already. Woo! Just come out of spin class, changing the world with my spin or something. Let's reduce that a little bit. Okay, I'm Rosemary Nonny. This is a deliberate live stream, RNK for short. I am the prosperity coach for spiritual entrepreneurs who are determined to get their message out, to build a highly profitable online business whilst living to their true design, living to their life's purpose. You know, creating that 5K or more a month business. If that's you, then we need to have a talk. Messenger of Light is probably where you need to be. Now, in the meantime, today we're talking about the most, I think I called it the important thing, the most important thing. I don't even know what I called it. Basically, what I call the live stream. But I know I have 3 things that I want to mention. But before we do that, let's sing the affirmation. I want you to come to a place of peace for a second here. I wish I had my guitar, but I don't, and I can't play guitar and drive. Anyway, say hello as you come on board. That'll be great. Share this with somebody else. I am a messenger of light. I am willing to play my part. I am a messenger of light. I am willing to play my part. I change lives. I get rich. I change lives. I get rich. I am a messenger of light. I am willing to play my part. I hope you guys can say that with confidence, that you are in fact a messenger of light and you do change lives. You do allow yourself to create wealth and you are willing to play your part, okay? Because nobody's going to force you. The divine is not going to force you to live to your life's purpose. It's the best way. It's the happiest way, but it's your choice, okay? So the 3 things I wanted to mention here are the most important thing, because yesterday I talked about the 3 practical things that you need to do to get your message out there and start doing the work that you're actually born to do. So you can listen to that as well. But today we're talking about we're just talking about one thing, really. Because it's that time of year as well, where, you know, some people have great family relationships, some people have really nasty family relationships, some people, regardless of whether you have good or bad ones, this time of year it somehow brings the worst out in everybody. And some people, it's just absolutely amazing. Great for you, okay? So I just kind of got thinking and asked the divine what needs to come through this morning, and it was just the fact that, you know what, number one thing, the most important thing, which is almost something that I almost cringe to say sometimes, because I still, even now, I consider myself a very practical person. I still find certain things hard to just kind of talk about blasely, because I think that I don't think it, I know it's not true, but I'm so used to believing that everything comes down to just hustle, and well, there's nothing wrong with hustle, that everything comes down to just practical stuff, but it's not true. And I think for most of you who are actually truly determined to live to the fullness of your potential, you know it's not true that you work hard, but it doesn't always get you where you want to go, just working hard, practically or physically. So the key number 1 thing here is love. Love is the most important thing. It powers everything that we do. It needs to. I remember when I was growing up as a child, I was a Catholic actually growing up, and I was, anyway, whatever religious setting I find myself in, I always tried to be like, I don't know, I didn't try to be, but I always ended up being particularly into it, because I've always been into the divine. I've always been into God, and I've always been wanting to figure out how to be closer and closer and closer, basically. And anyway, so one of the songs we sang was, and it's from somewhere in the Bible. I can't remember. No, I don't know. If you're Christian, you probably know the verses that I'm talking about. But it's all about love. If I have all the eloquence of men, if I have all the eloquence of angels, but speak without love, I am just a cymbal crashing. And there's a whole chapter on love and the definition of love and how no matter what you do, you can do it really well, but if you have no love in doing it, and unfortunately, you know, a lot of religious people can be obeying all the rules. The sun is kind of in me, isn't it? It's kind of at the wrong angle, so you can hardly see me. But a lot of religious people obey the rules but have no love. I've seen it too many times where people will choose to obey the rule over care or love their brother or sister who's right there in front of them, basically. And that is not love, okay? Sometimes people are so committed to their rules that they don't care how it comes across to people, basically, and that's not love, okay? Sometimes it can go the other way. If people treat other people like they're too weak to do anything, that doesn't help either. So it's finding somewhere in the middle that is love. Anyway, love is the most important thing. So you could get everything right. So there are people who write out affirmations, pray. They're the biggest, most perfect prayer on the planet. They do all the work, they communicate, they do everything perfectly as they possibly can. They're so disciplined and everything. And I consider myself a very disciplined person. And I know that I even have these tendencies to try to be perfect without love. And it goes beyond just even loving other people. It's even loving myself. If I'm not loving myself and I'm just like, Rosemary, you did this and how dare you make that mistake and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work. And you know it doesn't work, but you keep doing it because that's the way you've been trained to live. And I say to you, love, even love for yourself, love for the people you call to serve, for sure. Because if you're not loving the people you call to serve, you'll allow your fear and your self-doubt to determine what you do or don't do. And so it's to a certain extent, we're called to a very high standard of love, that we be love on this planet, okay? And that means, yeah, first and foremost, loving yourself, learning to get past your crazinesses and learning to love who you are today. Yes, you still want to grow. Yes, you still want to improve and all of that stuff, but ultimately loving the essence of who you are, okay? And so feeling worthy of doing the work that you are called to do, and then loving all the people that you're called to serve, so you're not allowing your fear and your self-doubt or your God knows what to be the thing that determines what you do or don't do, basically. So that's number one. And number two, okay, yes, as I was saying, we're coming to this time of year, you're going to be hanging out with family maybe, or maybe you're not, I don't know, and there may be arguments coming up, or people who don't understand what you're trying to do. More to the point, as a messenger of light, as a new breed leader, as a way shower, as a forerunner, you may literally be doing things that other people do not get. And so they will take this opportunity to try and tell you that you should not be doing it, or try and tell you what you're doing wrong and how obviously it's not going to work because blah, 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 blah. And if you're still in the beginning bits of your growing your business or getting your word out there, you might feel really under pressure. You might feel really under scrutiny that you don't want. And you might feel the need to attack or defend yourself. Don't. Just be love. Just be love, you know, let them think what they think, smile at your smiles and change the subject. Nobody needs to understand. You don't need to have everybody understanding what you're up to. They don't need to understand. If they don't want to understand, they don't have to understand. It doesn't really matter. You know what you're called to, so you just get on with it. So there's going to be lots of times when people don't get you. Even if you're not in the beginnings of your business and you've grown a successful business, there'll still be people who think that they know better than you what you're supposed to be doing, basically. And you know, your part here is simply to love them. Love them anyway. Just love them anyway. Ignore the nonsense and just love people anyway. You know, so yeah, there will always be somebody with an opinion, and sometimes someone with a very strong opinion who thinks you should be doing things the way they think that you should be doing it. Basically, you don't need to listen to that. You don't need to defend yourself, more to the point, and you definitely don't need to attack them. Just love, love. Try and see them as they truly are, beneath all the crazy. Because ultimately they're one, we're all one, yeah? So see them as they truly are and don't get drawn into the nonsense, which I know is easier said than done. So I don't come from a place of perfection here. which actually kind of brings me to my third point. But before I get there, I don't come from a place of perfection, so don't ever think that I'm speaking to you because it's so easy. No, it's not. I just know that these are things that I need to do. I know that the divine speaks to me about this stuff, and so yeah, I'm called to speak to you about this stuff as we both practice it together. There will be people, as I said already, there will be people who don't get what you're doing. That is no indication of anything. You're not called to every single person on the planet. Some people will never get what you're doing, and it really does hurt when it's people that love you or that you love. I know that, and there's a desire, a deep desire for everybody to understand and accept you. They just won't. Sometimes they won't, especially if you are and for most of you, you are the way shower. You're literally the first person doing anything like that. So nobody gets why you're doing it. They just don't understand why you're putting yourself through this and them. So they'll have an opinion. Don't defend, don't attack, just love. That's all. Don't defend, don't attack, just love. That's all. Okay, so that's love. The third thing here is this, perfection, because you might hear me saying all this, and that's what I was thinking. You know, I don't want you to ever think that hello Ram Prasad, how you doing? I don't want you to ever think that I'm coming from a place of judgment or anything like that, because we're all in this together. Particularly we new breed leaders, we are doing something new. Okay, we feel called. We have this message inside of us that nobody else really understands yet. So, you know, we have to, so sometimes it feels yay, I'm back. Okay. No, you don't ever get to a place of feeling unworthy. You don't ever get to a place of feeling guilty or whatever about the mistakes you may have made. What you do is recognize this, and this is sometimes for a lot of spiritual people, depends on whether what your religious background is. You can't do it alone. You need connection with the divine. You need connection with the divine, whatever you call the divine, okay? Whatever your term for it is, you need connection with the divine. That is the only way you can be loved on this planet. Because if you're trying to do it just by yourself, and in some ways, I went through a period of time where I felt, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It does. It really does. We all have access to the divine, but some of us choose to deliberately connect, and others just kind of think, oh, I'll just be able to figure it out alone, which, you know what, you can do to an extent. To an extent, as a spiritual person, you are powerful enough, you do contain the divine, you're created in the image and likeness of the divine, but it's like a car, a battery operated car or something along those lines, where literally, yeah, you can go for so long until finally you crash because you need to be plugged in to your source. And if you're not plugged into your source, then at some point you will run out of juice. That's all there is to it. And so for some of you, that's one of the, if you would get that, if you would really get that, and I had to get this, okay? If you would really get that, and I've been someone who's known the divine forever, let me just tell you that right now. I've known the divine forever, but I went through a period of time where I hated the subservience that I was taught. Okay, and that is not what I'm talking about here. I was taught somehow that, you know, I had to just lie down my whole life and, oh my God, God is going to punish me if I don't. And I hated that. Okay, I hated that. And so as a result, in some ways, I started to withdraw from the divine. And some of you have done that in that you were taught nonsense in religion, sorry. And so it's kind of made you feel as though you never ever want to go back there. And I get that. You don't ever want to go back there. However, you will be operating from a very limited position if you don't connect in some way to the divine. You need to heal that God wound or whatever you want to call it. I don't know whether it's, I don't know, what do you call it? I don't even know. I've helped clients with it a lot where they were taught nonsense and you just feel as if the divine is out to get you and the divine is against you, and it's not true. The divine is pure love. And if you would allow that connection to flow through you, it will make a huge difference to what you are able to accomplish. Nevermore go back. I'm never sure what that means. I'm not sure what that means, Lien TG. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling your name. I don't know what you mean. But ultimately, guys, connection is the thing that makes everything work. Connection to your source is the thing that makes everything work. If you have some kind of weird, scared relationship where you think the divine is out to get you, you need to heal that, okay? Because that will get in the way of you receiving the prosperous life that you deserve, that you are born for. Yes, it's pure love. It's between the creator and you. Absolutely. It is between the creator and you. You need to be so careful about what rules and conditions that other people have taught you that you now think is true. Because if it's not a thing that actually really builds you up, if it's not a thing that helps you, if it hinders you in any way, no matter how sacred you think it is, it needs to be questioned. Okay, it needs to be questioned. I didn't question for so long until I realized, oh my gosh, God is literally pure love. And I don't know everybody even is comfortable with the term God. And yeah, Leanne TJ, I think you're getting what I'm saying here. You must do it by your own relationship. Absolutely, you must do it by your own relationship. There must be a personal, well, to me, it's a personal thing. I know some people don't see the divine as a personal connection. I personally call him Papa. He is a personal connection to me. Now, you don't have to do it exactly the way I do it, but I know that we need that source connection, okay? Because again, it's like a car trying to run without being connected to the plug. At some point, you'll run out of juice, and you'll find that you're struggling and struggling and struggling and not really getting anywhere. So, and then when you get tired of that, finally you realize I need to question whatever it is that I was taught. And, you know, I went through that process of questioning what I was taught. I'm finally coming to a place of recognizing that, you know what, the divine is absolutely pure love. And anything that tells me otherwise is a lie, basically. So I just need to discard the lies and keep the truth. Ultimately, amen. Yes, I've discerned a lot, and by that I know it's a personal connection. Yes, it is, to me, it's a personal connection. Okay, so that's it. 3 things. Love powers everything. Without love, no matter how hard you work, it's rubbish. And well, it's not rubbish. You can get so far, but it just doesn't really touch hearts. And we are here to change lives. You know, we're here to serve people, to change lives, and to create a heck of a lot of wealth. Without love, you'll always hit a limit. Number 2, whatever happens this period of time where you're hanging out with family, if they don't get what you're doing because you are a new breed leader, where you are doing things that other people in your world do not get. They don't understand. So if you're trying to get their permission, if you're waiting for their approval, it will never come until you prove that that what you're doing is working. And you know what, to begin with, maybe you can't prove it yet. So stop trying to prove it to people who don't understand what you're doing, okay? Just love them. Just love them. Just love them. Just love them anyway. And love them, smile, and ignore what they're saying. And number 3, the only way you get to that place of being pure love, the only way you get to that place of being pure love is in connection with your source, okay? Because otherwise you'll just want to start attacking people. Otherwise you'll feel resentful when people are taking advantage of you. Otherwise, whatever. When you are connected to source, you don't run out of juice. You don't run out of juice. You're able to move forward. You're able to create the prosperous life that you are born for, that you deserve, that is your birthright if you will connect. Okay, and Leanne or Merlin agrees with me, so yes. Just do your thing, and with time they'll begin to search it too. Yes, be the example, be the model, and some people will join you, other people will still think you're slightly crazy. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Don't be looking for approval from anybody. Okay, my loves, I'm going to leave it there. Now, if you are aligning with what I'm saying right here, and you know you're here to make a difference in a bigger, bolder way, if you know that you're here to make the world a more beautiful, more loving place, and if you know you would like to create a heck of a lot of wealth whilst at the same time living to your true design, and you're ready to get over any fears you have around that or any scaredness you have about talking about money when it comes to living out your purpose, then hey, we need to work together in Messenger of Light, okay? Messenger of Light will give you all the practical strategy you need to build your business and start reaching people in the way you know you're born to do. But it also help you deal with all of the crazy internal stuff that we spiritual people sometimes have to handle, okay? Because we're coming at things from a very different place where we are called in a different way. You need to come to take a look at Messenger of Light. It is for you, okay? I'm looking forward to working with some new breed leaders in the coming year. We're starting soon, okay? It depends on when you're listening to this. Just go and see the date will be on the page, so you can go and have a look. And have a wonderful day too, Merlin. So go and have a look. It's rosemarynonny.com/messenger of light. You are a messenger of light. Are you willing to play your part? If you are, then honey, I'm here to support you. rosemarynonny.com/messenger of light. Go take a look and share this with someone else. There's at least 334,000 of us all over the world who need to be lights on this planet because the world needs us to awaken. If you're ready, let's go. You're very welcome, Merlin. Speak to you all pretty dang soon. Share, share, share. Much amazing love. Bye.